couple is on a date at a fancy restaurant when the woman tells the man to say something to her that'll get her heart racing. The man thinks for a moment and says, "I forgot my wallet. When people ask me, 'So what do you do?' I answer, 'Whatever it takes.' The problem with a rat race is that even if you win, you're still a rat. Why was the Grinch such a great gardener? 'Cause he has a green thumb. Is your name Jingle Bells? 'Cause you look ready to go all the way. You know, you're a lot like dandruff. I just can't get you out of my head." A nun, badly needing to use the restroom, walked into a local Hooters. The place was hopping with music and loud conversation, and every once in a while the lights would turn off. Each time the lights would go out, the place would erupt into cheers. However, when the revelers saw the nun, the room went dead silent. She walked up to the bartender and asked, "May I please use the restroom?" The bartender replied, "Okay, but I should warn you that there is a statue of a naked man in there wearing only a fig leaf." "Well, in that case, I'll just look the other way," says the nun. So the bartender showed the nun to the back of the restaurant. After a few minutes, she came back out, and the whole place stopped just long enough to give the nun a loud round of applause. She went to the bartender and said, "Sir, I don't understand. Why did they applaud for me just because I went to the restroom?" "Well, now they know that you're one of us," said the bartender. "Would you like a drink?" "No, thank you, but I still don't understand," said the puzzled nun. "You see," laughed the bartender, "every time someone lifts the fig leaf on that statue, the lights go out. Now, how about that drink? I wanted to impress my crush, so I told her about my millionaire dad. Now she's my mom. If it's true that we are what we eat, then I can be you by tomorrow morning. If you're ever feeling a little foolish, just remember that there are people out there who actually believe they are helping to save the planet by driving a Tesla." A boy named Carol had a particularly rough childhood, as you can imagine, because of his uncommon name. He always got a lot of teasing and abuse at school, and eventually he overcame his hang-up and married his high school sweetheart. When their first child was born, he let his wife name her, and she named the baby girl Love, inspired in the same spirit as Carol's unique name. Unfortunately, Love grew up and endured much of the same teasing that Carol did because of her strange and unique name. She came home from school one day and screamed at her dad, asking why he gave her such a stupid name. Carol took the blame to protect his wife, and he apologized, and in a fit of rage, Love shot him with her dart gun and ran away. Minutes later, Carol's wife came home and saw him lying on the ground. "Oh my God, what happened?" she asked, running to him. He waved her closer and he whispered, "Shot through the heart, and you're to blame, darling, you gave love a bad name." How do you know when a website is lying? When it ends in .gov. In 2018, Vilnius, the capital of Lithuania, ran an ad campaign branding itself as the G-spot of Europe, accompanied by the slogan, "Nobody knows where it is, but when you get there, it's amazing." If you can't decide, the answer is always no. Women defending the burqa are like chicken advertising for KFC. After retiring, a man went to the Social Security office to apply. The woman behind the counter asked him for his driver's license to verify his age. As he looked in his pockets, he realized he had left his wallet at home. He told the woman that he was very sorry and would have to go home and come back later. The woman said, "Unbutton your shirt." So the man opened his shirt, revealing curly silver hair. She said, "That silver hair on your chest is proof enough for me," as she processed the Social Security application. When he got home, he excitedly told his wife about the experience at the office. She said, "You should have dropped your pants. You might have gotten disability too." What do you call a feminist government? A dictatorship. I don't even see the Oscars anymore. I just see Epstein Island visitors. Saturday morning, I got up early, quietly dressed, made my lunch, grabbed the dog, and I slipped quietly into the garage. I hooked up the bolt to the truck and I proceeded to back out into a torrential downpour. The wind was blowing 50 miles an hour. So I pulled back into the garage, turned on the radio, and discovered that the weather would be bad all day. So I went back into the house quietly. I undressed and slipped back into bed. I nuzzled and cuddled up to my wife's back, now with a different anticipation, and I whispered, "The weather out there is terrible." And my loving wife of 10 years replies, "Can you believe my stupid husband is out there fishing in that?" A burglar breaks into a home and he holds the husband and wife hostage. At gunpoint, he forces the two to sit on chairs and ties them to the chairs. The burglar slowly and methodically begins robbing the house. The burglar has taken everything of value and is ready to leave, while the homeowners are still bound to their chairs. Suddenly, the man yells at the burglar, "Please untie her, please let her go." "No, I'm not untying either of you so that the authorities get notified as late as possible," said the burglar. "Look, I need to get away with this. I'm sorry. I just can't leave anything to chance," says the burglar, feeling a little ashamed of himself. "I'm begging you, man. Just let her go. She won't call the cops, I promise." The man is now crying. The burglar, still unwilling to budge, does find it quite touching how much his hostage cared about his wife. "Wow," he says, "you must really love your wife to beg me to untie her so desperately." "Not really," the man replies. "It's just that she'll be home in 15 minutes.